using 3 methods of epistemic rhetoric to better understand the world. So if you're anything like me, you probably don't really have any idea what rhetoric is. Rhetoric is seen in conversation and interactions all around us, in speeches and performances, and even in body language. The idea of rhetoric was brought to light by 2 ancient Greek philosophers, Aristotle and Isocrates. Aristotle defines it as rhetoric is the act of discovering or inventing the means of persuasion in a given situation. So rhetoric decides how to persuade someone depending on the situation. For example, the way you convince your mom to give you $20 is going to be a lot different than the way you convince your boss to give you a raise. This brings us into epistemic rhetoric. And again, if you're like me, you've probably never even heard of the word epistemic. Epistemic comes from epistemology, which is the study or origin of knowledge. And in this video, we're going to be discussing it as truths or realities. So an example of a truth or a reality is that an apple is a commonly eaten fruit. So we're going to talk about the 3 types of epistemic rhetoric discussed in an essay by Barry Brummett. So these 3 types of rhetoric are called methodological, sociological, and ontological rhetoric, and they work like the lenses of a microscope. If our situation acts as our slide, we can look through each type of rhetoric to analyze the situation and get a different, more holistic understanding of it. So methodological rhetoric states that there is an objective, unitary reality, one truth, a right or a wrong answer. If we look at a big question like, is there life after death? Methodological rhetoric states that there is a right answer, one answer, but we just haven't quite found it yet. Next, we have sociological epistemic rhetoric, which is split into material realities and social realities. Material realities are like an apple being an apple, whether or not somebody is around it. And social realities are saying like people are good or bad. They're more subjective rather than objective. So some people say that you're good if you just donate to charity, and others say you're good if you just treat others with respect. It depends on your definition, and it's different for everybody. Finally, we can analyze ontological rhetoric, which states that truth is completely subjective. Every human is completely individual and has a variety of experiences that make them who they are, and so we all have different realities. None of these realities are untrue, they're just true for each of us as individuals. They're personalized truths. So right and wrong don't necessarily exist, it's just a person-to-person kind of deal. So it may be true for me that going on a walk makes me feel better, but it might not be true for someone else. All 3 of these together, we can better understand the world by pausing to think about our situation through these different lenses. Taking a different perspective can completely change your outlook on something. Methodological rhetoric lets us look at things in a more defined, black and white way. Sociological rhetoric helps us differentiate between things that are more physical and objective versus something that's more social. And ontological rhetoric reminds us that everybody is different and has different truths. And this doesn't make any of their truths wrong, just different. We can practice a lot of empathy through ontological rhetoric. Overall, we see rhetoric every day, all around us. We see it with our friends and family. We use it when we talk to strangers. Even animals use it when they interact with each other. We use it when we interact with our environment.
Dude.
And even the environment uses it, with plants opening up to the sun or hiding from predators. And if we better understand rhetoric, we can better understand the world.